calling here a flow combat system to show you the double hand clearing. It's a double-handed block to one side. Each hand has its own role in what it does, and although it looks easy, it's actually pretty complex. We're going to start by breaking it down into its fundamental movements so that you understand the principles behind a horizontal circle and how you start it, and then we'll go into the particulars of what each hand is doing. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use a position like this, which is basically, hey, I don't want any trouble. Okay, you can also have your hands out here, but for right now we're just going to pretend we're starting from here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to start to draw a circle with this left hand. So from my palm out position here, I'm going to drop my hand down, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing a circle. So notice that what happens is I come out just a little past the edge of where my shoulder is, because what I'm trying to protect is between two shoulders here. My head, the rest of my body, my vital organs, they're not trying to strike here or strike here. So I don't have to worry about overreaching. I don't have to go that far, just between here and here. So from this position, I'm going to start with this hand. It comes out, and this is as if I'm polishing the top of a round table. So what happens is my hand comes out and around, and as I bring it back, I keep my fingers still kind of pointed forward. And I slide along my body so I get some body contact and have a kinesthetic touch sense of where I'm supposed to be in space. So I'm just coming around like so. Now notice with this, as my hand comes out, it becomes fully extended at the top of the circle. So I'm almost locking my hand out, or my arm out here. Come around and back. Okay, so this is the first exercise. You can put the other hand down for right now. But I'd start from a position like here and be coming out. Maybe I'm stepping at an angle as I'm doing that, right? I don't know yet. Just like so. So get a sense of that, and don't let your hand get all flipping around different directions. Really try and keep it pointed forward as much as you can. And this is also staying at chest height. It's not going high to low or low to high, all right? We're trying to keep it as if it were rubbing or polishing a nice circular table. So now the second hand, let's bring this into the picture. Second hand's basically doing the same thing, except since I'm starting with my right hand and I'm doing this circle that started like this, I got to cross my body to start that. So with this hand, I'm going to come again at chest line with my fingers pointed forward. I'm going to come across, reach forward, bring my elbow back toward my side, and make this circle, and keep making this circle over and over. So again, polishing the table. Okay, so the first hand's polishing it this way, which is my hand comes out and then back toward my center line. So that's like a forehand strike if you're used to using stick or knife or anything like that. The second hand, this hand's coming here. Second hand's coming across this way, which is like a backhand strike. All right, so 1 and 2. Okay, so once you feel comfortable with that, now we want to put the two together. So there's certain placement and timing for each of these hands coming forward. So from this position, I'm going to come forward with my left hand. As it passes the center line or the top of the circle, right as it comes to that, my right hand starts, and it comes underneath the left hand. And it comes out like so. So notice now this hand's at the top of the circle as this hand, my left hand, is back at my body. See, the opposite sides of the circle, coming forward, opposite sides of the circle. So it's as if I'm polishing and I'm making sure that I keep a circle as I do that. Just like so. Okay? I want you to do this at chest height. Get comfortable with this. All right? So once you're comfortable with that, now you got the foundations of a horizontal circle. There's two different types of horizontal circles. There's one where this hand comes out and then the second hand comes underneath. There's another one where this hand comes out and this hand comes over the top of the first hand. Right now we're coming underneath because it's below peripheral vision or below eye line. And so as a result, if I'm blocking here and I'm striking with this hand, then it's going to be somewhat unseen. They're seeing this hand come forward first. So this hand's not going to be as perceivable. So now we want to get into the particulars of what each hand is doing, because it's not just coming out like this. There's a little bit more to the hand movement. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you start with the left hand. It's gonna come out and make that circle like I'm polishing again. But as I come to the top of my circle here, what I'm gonna do is go from my palm facing down to my palm facing out to my right. So I'm gonna come here to here and bring it back to my shoulder. Slide it across, palm down to palm out. Slide it across. Or you can think of it as horizontal to vertical. Now the reason I'm going to vertical, and you could even do vertical, go to vertical a little before you get to the center line or the top of the circle. The reason for going to vertical is that that's where I'm intersecting the person's punch. Right? The idea is that I want to have control over the distance from here to here. If I was just to go to vertical, if I stayed horizontal and I went vertical here, this is where I'd be intercepting the punch and starting to control where it's going. Well, this isn't a lot of time to deal with it. But if I come out and then catch it here, I can pass it wherever I want. I can scoop it through and do whatever I want with it. So we're intersecting a punch here. So if you think about, I'm slapping that hand, or I'm slapping that arm, or I'm guiding that punch as you come across the top. Now you'll notice there's a little bit of a whip as I go from palm down to palm up. That gives you a little momentum with that motion, okay? So you practice that. Now, what is the right hand doing? Something similar. It's going from one palm position to another. When you flip from palm position, whether it's up to down to up, into out, or any variation of that, you're creating torquing power. That creates short range power so you don't have to get your full body into the movement as much. You can handle this and create quite a bit of drive and torque with a little bit of movement. So this is basically what we're doing. So from this side, remember the right hand comes across and then out and then back, right? But we're going to start with it palm up. So I'm going to come across like so, fingers pointed somewhat forward, and I'm going to come out. I'm still drawing my circle here. As I come toward the top of my circle, or actually just before I come to the top of my circle, I'm going to flip from palm up to palm down. I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to flip it palm up here, just like so. So this is the circle. So I'm doing my palm change with each hand. There's a palm change as it does the circle, and there's a reason for that. Just like so. Now, how do you put them together? This is where it gets to be like this, and walking and chewing gum and washing the dishes all at one time. So I want you to go slow with this. If I'm starting from this position, I would come out with this hand, right? And just as I'm coming up toward the top of my circle here, it's going to go from palm up, or palm down to palm up. Second hand then starts and comes underneath. So as this hand gets to right here, this hand should be right here on my circle. This hand comes back toward the shoulder. The other one, remember, it starts palm up, and then toward the top of the circle, it flips palm down. All right, just like so. This goes palm up. This is palm down. It goes palm out. This goes palm up to palm down. So this becomes our movement. Nice and easy. Starting palm down, palm out, palm up to palm down. So hopefully this is starting to make sense. Each of these hands has its own job. This hand is engaging it with my opponent's attack. When I engage there, I can be stepping off to a line and working split line, or working on the outside line and striking. But I can also use this as a double block or a double clearing, and then come in with my strikes. So it gives me a lot of leeway. So many of the movements that we do are based on either a horizontal circle, a vertical circle, or an angular circle. And that's the flow and flow combat. So practice this. I know it takes time. Ease yourself into it and watch all the particular movements. I suggest you do this looking in the mirror, because that's where you're going to catch the mistakes. And check at each point around the circle, is my hand in the right position? Am I the right distance from my body? And what's my second hand doing if you're starting to mix them together? All right, go ahead and good luck.